Okay. Last time, we commenced the session at the suppose the mid battle with the creature which was Walter Durst. It turned out. Um,
Mm.
After you guys were doing combat with the creature, you were able to sort of whittle down its health such that it entered a second form, and that second form then sort of revealed that inside it had um, basically the corpse of a child sort of encased inside its rib cage, which was presumably that of Walter Durst. Once you defeated Walter, Elizabeth Durst appeared and basically said that she was just going to destroy you, essentially. Um, you guys then tried to leave, and as you were leaving, you were confronted by the ghost of Gustav Durst, Elizabeth's husband and the father of Walter. And he had pleaded with you guys to basically not leave, and that you basically needed to stay because that was Elizabeth's will. Upon you guys entering combat, I believe it was Prince was able to persuade to end the combat. You guys then basically, as the house above was collapsing, you guys made your escape through a hidden door which led into the den on the ground floor of the house. Upon getting out of the house, you guys were able to take a long rest and fulfilled um your what you'd advised you would do for Rose and Thorn, that you buried their bodies outside. Sort of the house has sort of collapsed in itself, leaving a big pit. The following morning, after you guys rested in a sort of derelict tower, stone tower, you were able to. I think you guys buried the bones, and they said their farewells to you. You guys then find yourselves, say, in this sort of wooded area, um, which you were able to find a road. You followed that road to a set of gates, and then following those set of gates, continue to follow this road. The gates closing themselves behind you. You guys then found a corpse at the side of the road. Specifically, Terig found it, and with seemed to be this body seemed to have been covered in uh, scratch marks from like branches. You guys then noticed on the tree that there was a mark, 13 marks with an arrow, and you guys seemed to follow trees, a number of trees, which had these 13 marks and arrows. Eventually, you found a horse also dead, and then you guys got lost in a fog. And after a while, I think it was a very short period of time, about 5 minutes of walking in the fog, Prince took one level of exhaustion, failing his Constitution saving throw, and you guys find yourself basically back at the road with the corpse then missing. You also found, crucially, a tree which had writing etched on it before you were spat at the road, which is "The horseman rides, the seer spoke true." You guys then continued to follow the road, and the road led down to a river. And after this river, you could see a small village. On approach to the village, you guys were able to see a barricade with sort of two archers, crossbowmen, women up on the roof above, and the barricade seemed to be under being repaired by what looked to be a number of villagers, and this was being overseen by a well dressed man. Upon your approach, you were asked to declare who you were, be you alive or dead. Um, and the sort of well dressed man admonished the guard and invited you guys in, noting that you were clearly alive. The man introduced himself as is Mark Kolanovich, and he says he would speak to you further within a within the tavern of the town and be able to answer any questions you may have. You you also noted that on the roof was a raven, which seemed to have be sort of observing on the rooftop and then flew away. You guys were then led through the town um, square, and I will just advise you. I'll run through this, but we're kind of already past this point. Exactly what you had seen. Haggard villagers with haunted eyes watched as you passed, their clothes stained dark with mud or blood, and their hands never far from a bow, axe, or pitchfork. The man is Mark. He greeted each one by name. Several approached him, speaking quietly in hushed tones before fleeing once more into the groaning homes or gloomy alleyways around you. Ismark guided you through a second larger barricade manned by grim-faced villagers wielding clubs and spears, and this would seem to be some sort of town square, within the middle of which was a stone statue, which, from recollection, Pedro had looked at in more detail. The statue had a weather-worn plaque at its base, which read, Ismark Antonovich the Great, Burgomaster Barovia, Bane of Vampires, 1618 to 1662, which I believe I have posted in the chat. You guys then were sort of, as you were looking at this, Ismark advised that this statue was not him, despite the same name, that it was his great grandfather, and that he had taken that name as hopefully sort of to carry on the legacy of being a great warrior. And he advised that his great grandfather, Ismark the Great, had fought vampires, other undead, left by Strahd, a figure who is unfamiliar to you at this point in time. You guys were then led to the tavern, which is the location which we currently find yourselves at the start of the session. That was a pretty long recap, but that's where we're at. So you should all be on this layer, and I'm going to move everybody into the next layer in a second. Unless there's anything you want to ask about at this stage, anything, other recaps, etc.
No.
All right. Well, let me. I'll bring you across in a wee second here. I'm just sorting this final thing. Where is that? All right. Let me bring you over. So, Ismark, as I said, he was leading you to the tavern. He is going to lead everyone in through the front door. I'll move you across here into the tavern. So Ismark, he leads us into the tavern, and you see the tavern is reasonably busy. As Ismark enters, a man appears to be the bartender approaches him, and Ismark says to him, Arik, could you please fetch me and my friends here some drinks? And he nods and begins to make his way off behind the counter. Ismark then gestures for yourselves, for the rest of you guys to come and speak with him in the corner. Sorry, I appreciate that's quite loud. I might turn that down a bit. So, if you're willing to join him.
Yeah.
So, as you sit down, he says, I don't know what's led you here, and you must really have 1,000 questions. We don't get many visitors here, and I must apologize for the state of the village. I would be happy to answer any questions that you may have about this place.
Well, first of all, where are we?
He says, Um, well, we are currently in a place called the land, where a land really. We're in the village of Brovia, and this is located in the land of Brovia. Uh, Sometimes we get visitors here like yourselves, but and he looks around at you all, specifically kind of mostly interested in you, Pietro. Though let me see, probably uh, you as well, Turg, and you, Fiacra, and probably Prince. Yeah, not so much. So he seems to look at you kind of with interest, saying
Hmm.
Turg, and well, maybe Turg, but certainly you, Pietro. Um, he says this is land is it's um it's ruled by Strahd von Zarovich. I imagine you probably haven't heard the name, but he is a powerful vampire who lives in a castle here called Ravenloft and was slumbering until relatively recently. This land is surrounded by mists, and we are in a prison. People really, we can't leave, and not many people come here. So it's very strange that perhaps I should find yourselves here, though I do vaguely remember some tales of ways which travelers have come to be here before.
And what are those?
And what are those what?
Ways that people have traveled here in the past.
He says, I cannot remember. I just remember that there has been stories of which other
And for
people have
why
come here.
sorry. And for why can people not leave?
Um, he says, well, we presume that it's something to do with the vampire. Anyone who has ever attempted to leave, you've seen the fog around here. Anyone who tries to leave begins to choke on the fog, and those who do not turn back will typically, well, in all cases I'm familiar with, will perish.
Hmm. And do you know what causes the fog?
Says, I do not know. It has been here long before myself, and I imagine it will continue much longer after.
Was that a joke? Not like I don't ask him that, but like, do we get the impression that was him trying to be funny?
No, he seems to be like quite serious in it.
Right.
What he's saying.
I see.
He
Please
says,
ask away.
Okay.
he said, well, he has a lot of other things he can say himself. So, he's a fully fledged out boy. He has a lot he can be talking about. If you want to ask him something, go ahead. Though he has things he'll say.
You say the people here are prisoners. How long have the people been trapped?
He says, I don't know, like hundreds of years. He says the people here, um, we're being punished. A punishment for a forgotten sin of our ancestors. For that reason, the devil Strahd has placed a curse on these lands. And we are being punished, certainly, at the minute. As I forgot to say this in the recap, but I will repeat again. He says, for the past few nights, several nights, we've been under attack from undead. And I fear that this is punishment. Over 3 months ago, a man named Doru, the son of the village priest, raised a rebellion against the castle, hoping to free the valley, not just us, but everyone here in Barovia from this prison in the mists, and the revolt failed. It awoke Strahd from his dormancy and spurred the vampire to vow vengeance upon us in the village below. Since then, several dozen Barovians have fled to the town of Valakai, which is a day's travel to the west. But the remainder have, of course, stayed here. You've seen them out on the streets. They're determined to defend their homes, and some of them, as you see, are just children, sickly villagers were unable to make the journey. And then 6 nights ago, the retaliation has come. Strahd's undead forces began attacking the town. Each night, we've beat back multiple waves of the dead, and each night the horde comes ever closer to breaching our defenses. So, the jovialities in here are really just ones that kind of stave away the night. Many Peruvians here fear the village is doomed. The undead infest the woods, the northwest and south, and the old road which you came in from continues past the river. And with passage blocked to the east, we're cut off from the world and we're left to survive or perish. He then looks at you all. Is there anything you want to ask at this point?
I don't know how many are appropriate.
It says, I'm sure you do.
Said the curse is like ageless, or
Oh, certainly. I mean, I've showed you, you have seen the statue of my great grandfather. Says he is long gone, but we are certainly not ageless. This has been going on for a very long time, and beyond my memory, beyond probably anyone alive's memory. Well, at least the living's anyway.
fraud. Appearance.
He has been asleep in a slumber, and I have not seen him.
So none. Doru's son.
Oh, I know Duru,
No,
yes.
Doru has not.
I'm not sure because I have not seen him personally. All I know is that there was forces there repelled. Strahd may be there, but certainly he has other undead forces, and they have been coming. And even though Strahd himself was not there, his castle is kept under watch by some of his minions, though we do not dare venture there. Why would we? This moment of madness, almost.
And his men of the same kind as him.
They're of all varieties. He can summon wolves and vermin to do his bidding. Perhaps you are familiar with vampires. A vampire. I'm just gonna bear with me, guys, because this is just to clarify in D&D terms what a vampire is. A vampire, he can transform into a bat, a wolf, or a cloud of mist, or it can dominate you in its humanoid form with a powerful gaze. But I certainly assure you that it is not just these; it is creatures of the undead as well. As well as most creatures of the night. As I'm sure you've maybe noticed that there is really no sunlight here. And the sun has not shone unobscured for centuries. People here are of a religious persuasion, and this is really passed down through the generations. Two divine forces watch over us, the Morning Lord and the Mother Night. And before the curse of Strahd befell the land, it is passed down that the Morning Lord watched over the people here from sunrise till sundown. But now, as I say, the sun has not shone for some time, and the prayers of the Morning Lord are no longer answered. and the presence of Mother Night is felt most strongly between dusk and dawn. So similarly, those prayers go unanswered. It is believed that she has forsaken us and also set Strahd to punish us for ancestral offences. As this is happening, and Ismark is sort of openly having this conversation. Suddenly, you guys hear something slam a nearby table over here, and you guys turn as the sound directs you to the attention of a man sitting not very far away from you. He has a clenched fist twitching against his table's wooden surface. He is squat with greasy, receding salt and pepper hair and a patched, well-worn coat. A scowl mars his face as he turns his dark eyes towards your group. Let's see if we got a wee thing of him. It's a fool's errand to put your faith in Ismark the Lesser. He rasps at you, eyes lingering upon each of you. Best to seek better company, lest you wind up in the ground with the last fools that trusted him.
I suppose you mean your company.
Well, and as you say that, he responds to you. He says, well, if you're so interested to hear the real story of this bloody land, the wine's shit, but so everything else. And he kicks like a chair out from underneath him, kicking this chair across. You're willing to hear about it.
Is there an Ismark the Greater?
Yeah, so I referred to that earlier. The statue, it was of Ismark's great grandfather was Ismark the Greater.
Right, I thought the Lesser was just him being mean.
No, oh, he's being mean. Oh, yes, this guy's certainly being mean about
Yeah,
Ismark.
yeah, but like, yes, but he's referring specifically to the grandson is weak compared to his granddad. Right.
So the chair
All
remained.
seated- We're all seated here talking. Why don't you join us?
He
In
says,
death.
in death. Oh no. He says, I wouldn't take company with him. And he looks at Ismark. And Ismark, if you look around at him, he kind of winces. And he kind of says kind of quietly to you all, as you kind of either looking at him or looking still around at the other guy. He says, you know, he's right to hate me. I asked the other villagers to stay and defend our homes. I was arrogant and foolish. I didn't appreciate how powerful the devil and his creatures were. And he closes his eyes and says, now dozens of my friends and neighbors are gone, and I'm still here.
Did you send people to fight Strahd?
No, I asked them to stay here and defend our homes. People were wanting to leave. I don't think that was so wrong of me, but we've lost so many.
It's never foolish to defend one's home.
Have you
As
been
you,
involved in the conflict?
he says, well, I'm here as a protector. Say, my father is burgomaster. Again, I maybe forgot to mention that last time again. My father, Kalyan, he is the burgomaster, and I've been here with him in terms of the running. Burgomaster's like the mayor, like of running of the town. And he says, we need to say we've been under attack and we've been trying to hold out. As that happens, well, are any of you want to go and sit with him, the other guy? Or you don't have to, it's your choice. But he's kicked the chair out.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So, as
I think I reply back, well, suit yourself.
says, what? Okay. So, as you do that, he says, well, does it really matter anyway? The village is doomed. Likely all of Brovia with it. There's no son to bring back. And he's like, basically, like venomously sort of spitting this out. No escape from the mists. This is hell now and all eternity. The sooner you lot all accept that, the better off you'll be.
Then better to die with a bleed.
As soon as you say that, the doors to the tavern bust open. Any second now, they're going to bust open.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
They're busting open once I open them. The door busts open. Bada bing, bada boom.
Kapow.
And a woman steps through, clad in a tattered and threadbare cloak, her hair tied into 2 loops that fall around her neck. Sorry, I've read this wrong. Her hair tied into 2 loops that fall around her neck. It's unkempt and tangled. And her wide eyes, as she runs sort of down the stairs, dart across the room with fearful energy. You see that her gaze falls upon Ismark, and she sort of rushes forward shakily. As her features become more visible, you see her face is pale, her eyes blotchy with dry tears staining the flesh across her cheeks. Her voice is a ragged, haunting whisper as she says, so she probably gets to about here. She says, Master Kalanovich, I apologize for interrupting you and your guests, but I haven't seen Gertruda since last night, and Nori isn't in the stable. I think Gertruda's gone to Valakai alone. As this happens, the tavern draws silent. You look at Ismark as his eyes crease with worry. He says, I'm very sorry to hear that, Mary. And I promise you that we will organize a search party to look for her. If she didn't make it to Valakai, we'll find her and bring her home safely. As he says that, our good old friend Bildraff snarls and spits. More empty promises, Kalanovich. And he looks over to you guys. Have you ever seen something so cruel?
I glare back at
Cold-blooded. Well,
I say, I see a cruel little man before me. Hold your tongue.
okay. Does anybody else say anything? Okay. So as you say that, he looks at Mary and he just goes, Mary, no one can survive alone on those roads. The girl's gone. I'm sorry. As that happens, Mary then bursts into tears. In reaction, Ismark suddenly stands up from the table, slams his hands down, pushes his seat away. That's enough, Master Kantamir. What, you going to put me into my place, Master Kalanovich? Stop lying to the woman. The girl's as good as dead. We'll all be joining her soon enough. There's always a chance, Ismark says. And you guys, as you look at him, you see it's like his Adam Apple sort of bob as he swallows, and he looks at Mary. then at you guys, he says, "You might have given up on our people, Bildrath, but I haven't." And as you look over at Bildrath, he sort of stands up, and you see his hands straining into sort of fists, and he sort of shakes slightly. And after a sort of moment, he spits on the floor, looks at you, and begins to walk out. As this happens, the room sits in silence, and the only thing sort of breaking that silence is the sobs, or the choking sobs of Mary. Ismark, kind of the anger sort of fading away from his face. He makes his way over to Mary and says, he reaches out his arm and he puts it on Mary's shoulder. And his voice sort of cracks as he says it. "Mary, I promise you that I will do everything I can to see that Gertruda is brought home safely." And as she hears that, you see that she starts to sort of take comfort in that. And she looks at Ismark and then over you all. And she looks at Ismark and says, "I'm sorry well, thank you, and I'm sorry for bringing this up when you're here with your guests." And she says, "Anything you do." And Ismark says, "Yes, certainly, Mary. I will make sure to do my very best for you, as always." Mary then sort of nods and sort of wraps her hood around her face, and everyone in the pub or the tavern watches as Mary makes her way out, as she teleports out through the wall.
Keurig is all.
Okay. Okay. As she begins to leave, as she's leaving, or after, are you following her straight out the door?
No, no, no.
Okay. After the door closes, the sort of tavern life sort of starts to come back again. Discussions either about this whole literal breakdown of affairs here, like this conflict, which has just happened. Ismark says to you, he says, "Please sit down. We have other things to discuss."
Up is missing and counts.
He says, "Yes, but like it or not, we are all in this together. What's happening here, and I will see to it that Gertruda is looked for." He says, "I need your hand. I need your hand. I need a hand
In marriage.
in marriage." This is actually it is. This is just like actually like a dating sim, which just is Mark's trying to romance Mary.
It's like after 3 minutes, a bell goes off and everyone moves to a new table, and it's like,
This actually is called the romancing of Strahd, not the curse of Strahd. No,
it's the court of Strahd.
the court of Strahd. Yeah. So he says, "I've already mentioned about these undead attacks, and they're anticipated for tonight. What's happened with Gertruda is terrible, yes, but I need your help here, and I assure you that, and I've promised Mary, I've known Mary for a very long time, that we will help her. but it's starting to get late. At this point, it's probably in late afternoon, probably about 2 o'clock. He says, it gets dark soon here, a lot earlier than perhaps maybe where you come from. But I would ask that you please help us to survive this night. Otherwise, that's one child, and I don't mean that in the way that you perhaps may take it. However, it says there's a lot of lives here who are at risk, and our numbers are dwindling. It says, I can't promise you any coin, but if you help us survive the night, I assure these things that are coming, these undead, are at risk to all of us. And if you're, well, in exchange, I would be happy to offer you room and board at my home. If you need some place to stay, I appreciate you're only just in town.
What kind of numbers does this enemy bring on a night?
It varies. A lot of undead. There's multiple entrances into the town. 10, 20, 30 maybe.
What
It just
kind of
depends.
defenses do you have around the perimeter?
As you entered into town, you've seen yourself. We have barricades. But to say we're starting to get spread quite thin. And we're able to set up posts on the rooftops. We've blocked off the main entrances into the town. Are you willing to help us?
Yes.
We're all prisoners here in this this land.
Prisoners of our own design.
Agreed. Let us be your shield for
You had
tonight.
me at undead.
He says, well, if stabbing things you mean by the vampire, you've already heard as how that has ended. But I think that, and he starts to kind of chipper up a bit. He says, what you're telling me is great. We could certainly use the help, and we are very grateful. He says, firstly, to sort of set up the defense of the village's southern perimeter. Oh, sorry. To set up of the perimeter, it says, I would ask you to retrieve a crate of fire bottles from my sister, Irina. She's overseeing the defense of the village's southern perimeter from my family home. It says, I'm taking watch over the western barricades. And you guys, would likely the eastern barricades would be where you would have to be watching out at. He says, but though if you go to my home, which is the Burgomaster's mansion, says those bottles will assist in being able to fight them off. And he gives you directions to the Burgomaster's mansion. Yeah, he gives you directions to it.
Do I have a warhammer?
I think you've been using it previously, so. Oh yeah.
So he.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, that's right.
I just don't know if I get it back because I listened to some of it, but not the rest.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'd say you lifted it.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Did you? Oh, I forgot the method where everybody was blind repeatedly, and you were blind and deaf, and you were getting the fuck kicked out of you. That's right. Well, and it did happen.
The other thing is, shortly after the dude stomped off.
Yeah.
someone might have noticed both the chair that he kicked out and his chair went into the table with no visual anything. They just did. In about 12 seconds. Yeah. So that's the telekinesis telekinetic feature.
Nice.
Uh,
I just thought
I got a silly feat because it's fun.
I thought you were like imposing like a curse on this place where like all
No.
chairs will be returned to two tables.
Well, you have to get a quarter or a coin, a 50p or something, and you put it in the chair, and then it comes out, and then you put it back in. You take your coin back.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. It's like another trolley. Yeah.
Well, no, I can cast Mage Hand invisibly with no verbal or somatic components. And then I can also use it to shove, I believe. No, it's a feat. Telekinesis. Yeah. That was my level 1 feat. I'm human. So,
Oh, he's very
you're
human.
yeah.
Oh, those pesky humans clogging up the game.
Yeah. No.
It's all about me.
Well, I thought
Where's my broken abilities? Where's my broken abilities?
I want my min-max. No,
Yeah, I'm gonna win you.
I picked a silly feat because I don't remember. I just wanted a feat to go with a stat boost. But yeah, no, like that's I thought of it too late because I was gonna be like push in the chair that he kicked out to basically tell him to,
Eat shit and die.
tell him no. But yeah, no, it happens basically without anyone knowing, as far as I know. Because it's as if I'm telekinetic, but it's really Mage Hand. But yeah. Okay, as long as I have a Warhammer.
Oh yeah, you definitely.
Then I'm good. I need to go AFK for a bit, but I'll be on my phone for most of it.
That's all right.
So.
That's no matter. Well, we can take 2 seconds here anyway, so I can prepare the next wee bit going forward.
The
Literally 2 minutes. Well, basically, as we leave here, or as we kind of left things in the tavern, he's asked you to go to the Burgomaster's mansion, to get these fire bottles. I presume you guys kind of get what those are meant to be. If you don't, he explains they're basically Molotov cocktails sort of thing. Yeah. So, are you guys wanting to go and do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, okay, we'll take 2 seconds here and listen me to fill up my drink, and then I can prepare for the next scene. Yeah, it'll be 2 seconds. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go.
So you guys follow the instructions from uh his mark in terms of how to get to his home. Okay, the mayor's or the burgomaster's mansion. To meet Irina, his sister, to get the fire bottles. So this village, I mean, you saw on approach, is not the biggest place, and it doesn't take you very long, really, only a few minutes, to get to the burgomaster's mansion, or at least the gates outside. You see the building, and as you are approaching, you see, well, actually, you don't see really first. You hear the sounds of shouting, and as you get closer, to then outside the gates, you see um, the following, and I will bring you on over. You see the. Hopefully, you're all over now. You see the burgomaster's mansion. Outside, a small mob of villagers have gathered, brandishing pitchforks, brooms, and axes.
Good.
A plain, tired-looking woman stands at their front. Her wavy brown hair, so that's her there. I appreciate they all look the same. Her wavy brown hair tied back with a wrinkled white bandana. Give her up, Colin, she calls out. Your defenses have held the devil at bay, but they haven't ended his scourge. It's time to take matters into our own hands. At the top of the steps, an older man dressed in fine clothes, his thinning grey hair receding across his scalp, leans heavily on a cane in the door. Heavy blood-stained bandages wrap around his stomach, forehead, and left knee. Beside him stands a young woman with long red hair and a steel breastplate over a long-sleeved grey tunic. Her face ashen and tense. A rapier hangs in a sheath at her side, her right hand hovering over its glinting hilt. Go home, Malenka, the man booms. The rest of you as well. For as long as I am burgomaster, I will not permit this madness.
Should we join in with some like eyes or anything? I whisper to the party.
I push open the gate.
Okay, you can walk through it. There's no light or anything on this. You're on
Good
the map.
people.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, go on.
Good people, hold. What is the meaning of this?
Okay, fine. I'll join.
The woman, everybody sort of like seems a bit startled that somebody has clearly appeared, and she says, "Who are you?" And as they look at you, Pietro, everyone kind of looks a bit taken aback at you as you stand there.
I am Pietro Pentagast, and these are my companions. We are visitors here, and we are here to help against this scourge.
You see a bit of murmuring amongst the crowd. Make a persuasion check. Okay.
19.
So this mob of individuals, so all the ones kind of at the front, not the woman to the front, she, they all seem to be kind of murmuring amongst themselves. And the woman at the front, she sort of races up the steps slightly and turns around and she says, "Don't believe this foreigner's lies. Legends say that the Devil Strahd enjoys preying upon red-haired women. And if we make this sacrifice, that will get rid of this, not these individuals here." In response to that, the man at the top, who you would at this point probably ask could reasonably work out, is the Burgomaster Collion, given that, you know, it's the Burgomaster's mansion. He says, "You're a fool if you believe that surrendering Irina, or anybody else in that matter, will appease that devil in the castle Ravenloft. You are grasping for answers in a world that has none to offer. We are Barovians, we do not turn on our own, and this individual here, a foreigner he may be, is willing to help us. Are you willing to help us?" And the woman then retorts, "Irina isn't a true Barovian after all, Kalyan. You found her wandering in the woods near the Pillowstone of Ravenloft as a child. She's not one of us, and if you're going to choose her over us, neither are you." And at this point, she begins to make her way forward, and tries to basically make for Irina. And do you guys do anything?
Yeah, you go ahead if you've got.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so she's being held back with these sort of telekinetic powers. And in response, Kalyan says, how dare you? How dare you say that?" And he steps forward and he starts to, like, you see him start to struggle, and he kind of, he's so wounded that he starts to kind of crumple forward. And you see Irina reach out to grab him and says, "You will not lay a finger on my father." And she says, "Be gone from here."
I'm gonna shout out at this point.
Yeah.
Everyone, be calm. The Burgomaster is right. A creature such as this Strahd cannot be satisfied with a sacrifice. I
All right.
am a paladin of Ilmater, an expert in such things. This will only prolong the inevitable. The only way to face him is to stand together.
Okay, make another persuasion check.
And I
Oh. I was going to chime in from the paladin perspective.
Yeah, go again. What do you say?
And my sword.
Okay.
So performance. What does guidance do? Is it?
I'll roll that.
Oh, jeez.
An 8.
Nice.
Wait,
Does he not get it? Can I not help to give him
Oh
advantage?
wait, I clicked the wrong button. But performance is +3 as well, so it's the same.
So can I help to give him advantage on this or no?
Nobody had advantage. Did he not?
No,
Oh
he
yeah,
had
yeah,
guidance.
yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah, he has advantage then, yeah. Even though my sword is not
Well, I
very compelling,
say yes.
but yes.
In the name of Pius the Holy, We are here to cleanse the world of these demons, and you will fight. Fight for what is true.
At this point, yeah, okay. So 14. So at this point, the crowd, the main mob, is kind
Go
of
wild.
starts to sort of dissipate. They see, like, they're looking around between yourselves, what's happening up with the burgomaster, and you start to see them sort of mutter amongst themselves and saying, what's Alenka doing? Should we really be doing this? And they all begin to leave. And Alenka, sort of, as she's being pulled back, she kind of falls back eventually. And she scrambles to her feet and she says, "This isn't the last that you've heard of this, Kalyan. Mark my words." And she then runs away down past you guys and out into the street.
Day.
Irina, then you guys find yourselves standing there as the mob has sort of disappeared out behind you and out the gates. Irina helps Kalyan stand up, and as he sort of straightens himself out, he says, "Thank you for assisting with that matter." He says, "Who are you? You are clearly not from these lands, and you've said as much."
We are travelers, strangers here. I am Pietro Prendergast, as I said. These are my companions, Fiacre, Tirig, and Prince.
He's like, "I love Purple Rain. Listen to it in vinyl all the time."
Yes.
Yeah.
I pull out my sword and I mime playing it like a guitar.
He says, well met, and perhaps you'd like to come in. Something else has clearly
Yes.
brought you here. I would. Oh, as he turns to go, he says, "Well, perhaps we should discuss inside." He says, "Please come in." And there's no map for this. We're going to have to use your imagination. So he walks you. I think there's a description of this place, so let me read that out for you. I mean, this mansion itself, you kind of seen it on the map. It's pretty weary looking, with rusted fences. Weeds choke the grounds, press a menace upon the house itself. And heavy claw markings have stripped the once beautiful finish of the walls. Great black marks tell of fires that have sealed the mansion. Not a pane nor a shard of glass stands in any window. All the windows are barred with planks, each one marked with stains of evil omen. As you guys are led through, the interior is actually quite well furnished. As Kalyan and Irina walk you through the halls, and the fixtures show signs of great wear. Noticeable oddities are the boarded up windows and the presence of holy symbols in every room. So, as he walks you through, and he says, "Well, what brings you here?" Says, "I am." Perhaps I shouldn't get ahead of myself. I say I am very grateful for your assistance. You see, I am not a well man. He says, but anyway, nothing about that. He says, what does bring you here?
In honesty, we don't know. We found ourselves... Myself and my companion Fiacre came from Daggerford. We found ourselves at a manor some way up the road. And now we are here in a strange land I've never been to before.
says, I'm not familiar with this Daggerford. He says, well, I guess lack of familiarity is the same for us both. He says, though I think that perhaps you misunderstood the question. What brings you to my, though I appreciate that's of interest to hear that. Said we do not get many visitors, but what brings you to my home?
Oh, yes, son.
Oh, is Mark.
Indeed, he says you fire bottle.
Casks of Greek fire.
I'm not familiar with these Greeks. But he says, well, yes, we have that. I'm sure Irina here can assist you. And Irina smiles and she says, well, perhaps that can wait till later. And they've led you into a kitchen, and you see that there's a pot which is on the kitchen's hearth, and it appears that some stew is being made up. And she says, perhaps you'd like to stay for lunch. Says, we can take that. I'm sure that you've traveled long and far to get here, and it must be a bit of a shock to be here. And I can perhaps learn more about yourselves, and you can learn more about this place or anything else that you may need.
Of course. We thank you for your hospitality.
Yes, that is no problem. And they are led into, you're led into sort of a dining room, which is again well furnished, but also well worn. Seems to be quite old, this room of the house, especially. And you guys are able to pull up a chair, take a seat. Irina comes in with bowls and apologizes, saying, I appreciate this meal is quite sparse, but as you've perhaps seen in the kitchen, our family's pantry is nearly bare.
I may make Burgermeister.
Oh, he says, oh, well, thank you so much. That's very generous.
He's worth of food.
He says, oh, really? I've never seen such anything quite like it. I will, if you don't mind, I will keep this. I don't wish to spoil my appetite for Irina's cooking here.
Don't keep it too long.
Says, oh no. You better be fucking eating this later. Eat the berry,
I'll
you
know.
bastard.
I'll know.
I'll know what the berry's at. So he says, oh, yes, of course. I'll maybe eat some of it later. Thank you so much. And you guys all sit down for the meal. And he says, and I suppose, well, as you start to eat, Kalyan says, well, I suppose Ismark has asked you to assist with the fortifications of the town.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
We have been asked to fight the Horde, but no one has said anything about resourcing the barricade.
he looks at as you said that, he looks at Irina, and Irina asks, "Oh, what do you mean by that? Resourcing the barricade?"
Well, we have come to collect goods, but no one said we need to build anything to keep the zombie horde out.
She says, "I would assume I am taking watch over the southern barricade, and I know Ismark typically watches over the western barricade. I would take that Ismark has suggested the eastern barricade, and I think he was surveying that for repairs earlier. Well, at least I hope that he has done that."
That is what.
All right, then it has been done. He says that. Well, that's good. We need them to be at their strongest. And you say, as you guys would recall from last time when you were on the approach and then when you first saw Ismark, that there was a lot of villagers doing repair work there to the barricade, and he was overseeing it. Um, so he says, she says, well, that is good to hear that that has been done. And at the, as that said, Kalyan says, well, I know that these things are upon us. Perhaps we should keep conversation a bit lighter till then, or well, again, you find yourselves here, and I don't know what you make of the place so far. I mean, I don't know. How do you feel about being in these lands? So he's asking. That's what he asks you.
Perhaps a bit
It
too
is-
urban. It seems the need.
It does
He
seem
laughs.
like the perfect environment to cleanse the land.
Hmm.
In the holy name.
He says yes. Well, we'll say the people here in this part of Barovia, anyway, we certainly have our superstitions and religious outlook. He says,
It does feel like a calling.
Perhaps so.
And we will bring the culling.
That is interesting. I mean, you speak of that, of the culling, and of your. I presume that is in a religious way yourself.
Yes, I am indeed a man of the cloth.
And of the rest of you?
Yes. I've
Two
been
cloths.
guided here by ill matter.
I'm not familiar with that god.
In nomine patris, e filii, e Chili.
Um, hmm. He says, you're all religious men then?
Yes. It appears so.
He says, well, I hope that your faith keep you, or able to lead you, or not lead you astray, rather, in this land. Says, people do not have much hope in the gods here. Their prayers go unanswered. And Irina seems to be looking on, kind of interest, and in all this. And Kalyan says, well, what else? What else can you tell us of the world beyond here? Tell us what it is like where you are from.
Well, where I am from, it was peaceful. There were problems out there, bandits, monsters, but my hometown, the monastery I grew up in, it was a place of peace.
I wish peace was known to us. It must be nice to look up to the sky and see the sun. Hmm. Even moonlight is something which is rarely seen here. At least the moon itself, anyway. Its light reaches us, but as I'm sure you've seen yourselves. So basically, just for clarification, is that this place doesn't really have any direct sunlight, or like there's always light during the day, but it's kind of just dim generally. So, but there's no like you won't like have light coming in directly from any source. If that makes sense. It's like imagine being like super overcast all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's more like it's just cloud cover all the time, so it's still day, but it's like quite like dark. it's to be darker than an overcast day, like real life. But there still is light, so you can still see during the day, if that makes sense. Um, so well, how long are you intending to stay here? I, you know, maybe that's an insensitive question. You, I'm sure you've maybe heard that people do not tend to leave here.
Yes.
Well, you're a prisoner in our lands then, and I don't mean to make you sad about that. We are prisoners here too. Um, is there anything you want to ask at this point?
Were you born here or brought here?
I was born here.
Has anyone else just arrived?
None that I can think of, though there has been occurrences.
Yeah.
How people get here.
Was there a time before the fog?
He says there was a time before the fog, but it was many centuries ago.
I see.
And the details I don't even know myself. It has been so long ago. There are perhaps others, people in these lands who do know more, but I do not. It's just a struggle to survive, really.
Why did that woman want to sacrifice you to this Strahd?
Are you asking this to Irina?
Yeah.
There's a story that, or legends say that the devil Strahd enjoys preying upon red-haired women. Something to do with some person in his life or something like that. But perhaps it's related to that, and it's really futile. Don't see how that's going to make any difference.
No, I agree.
Your wound.
Yes.
From the
Yeah. Every able person. And yeah. Zombies mostly. That's what a lot of them seem to be. Zombies, ghouls. Though there are other creatures that certainly stalk the woods around this land. Wolves and of course vampires. Um okay. So as you're asking these sort of questions, you're sort of just having other general sort of chit chat amongst yourselves. Colin sort of looks down at the table as you're probably for a bit into the meal, and he says, "You're not from here," and it says, "I wouldn't mind asking you to help me deliberate on a dilemma that I'm currently having. I say it would be useful to have a perspective of people not from here, and I hope you don't take that in the wrong way.
Well, we are certainly not from here.
Hmm. He gets up off the table or gets away from the table, and he walks over to a writing desk, and he presents a sheet of parchment, and he lays it in front of you on the table in front of you guys. On its surface, you can make it a crude drawing of the area around the village with thin lines depicting the old, I can't say this word, Svavlich Road and the Ivlis River to the southwest, and darker shapes depicting the wood to the north, west, and south. Each night, dozens of undead lay siege to our defenses, killing some and wounding many more. Instead of attacking all at once, however, they arrive in groups, with each wave striking our defenses separately and almost randomly throughout the night. What do you make of that? Yeah. Okay. What exactly? I mean, I'll say you're familiar with the spellcasting of Necromancer.
No,
Two.
they would be only able crawls at it. You necromancer. The undead.
Are you asking me that mechanically? Because the answer is I don't know.
Well,
It's a very specific question.
okay. Yeah. Is it something that opposed to someone casting necromancy?
You can surmise that if you wish. If you want to relay that to him, I would say you'd be aware that there are necromancers that exist. I would say that you would be aware that there are people who have the spells and are able to control undead. Um, so you could surmise that. Whether you think that or not is a matter for yourself.
I'll float.
Okay.
All in. They
Okay. What about the rest of you? Do you say anything to that question? No.
The
You
only
don't
thing
have to. You don't have to. If
the only thing I can surmise is it doesn't appear to be an organized army, as in well drilled, if they're coming at the defenses seemingly at random.
Okay. As you both answer, Kalyan nods. Interesting. One more thing. Although dozens of the dead attack the village each night, our scouts have reported that hundreds more lurk in the woods around us, perhaps as many as 1,000. If they attacked all at once, we would surely be overrun, and yet, seemingly by the grace of the Morning Lord, they have not. Why? Not that I'm aware of.
One can imagine that whoever is summoning these hordes can only control a certain amount at a time and is unable to send thousands.
Do any of the rest of you have any ponderings about that?
Or perhaps they are simply delaying the attack from the full horde. Perhaps they are just testing your defenses for now.
Perhaps. You think out of cruelty or to watch us suffer?
It may be, or a tactical test.
Have there been any messages asking for like specific folk or any indication as to what they want, or do these just seem to be mindless attacks?
Well, the attacks are after the siege or the rebellion against the castle. Perhaps you have not heard of that.
Yes, Ismark spoke of that.
It appears to be, but the real reason we don't really know.
Undead.
As you're all discussing this, he appears to be Colin appears to be taking this all in. He goes, okay, your insights are very useful. And he says, are you intending to travel to any of the other settlements beyond our village here in Barovia? If you survive the night, of course.
We have made no. You go ahead.
He says, he lists them. He says, namely, Valakai or Krezuk, villages to the west.
Young pup. Promised me.
Okay. Says, you've provided me with much thought, things to think about.
No, I was just gonna say the same thing, really.
As you said about going to Valakai, he stands up and he goes over to his writing desk again, and you see him lift a quill and he dips it into an inkwell, and he seems to be. Well, he's writing on a piece of parchment. He then folds up the parchment, and he folds it, creases it over, and he opens it up and he gives it to you. You guys can all see it's a letter, which I will post into the chat for you. To read out, to whom it may concern, I humbly ask that you provide the bearer of this letter with what aid you can, trust in their purpose, assist in their endeavours, and offer shelter and counsel if you are able. Please extend to them every courtesy you would afford a friend of mine. With utmost respect, Colin Indorovich, Burgomaster of Barovia. And he says, I provide this letter of introduction. And he goes, I just given you that just for purposes, and just that's why I've said I've handed to you so you can have in game. But he's actually going to seal it in the envelope with the wax seal. If you look at the envelope, it's a long sword, or the wax seal is a long sword before a rising sun. Perhaps this letter will assist you in your future endeavors, or indeed with perhaps some of the other burgomasters. He says, I can't promise that it will be obeyed. It has been years since I've traveled to any of the other settlements, but at least it may open the ears of anybody you wish to speak to, or the burgomasters there.
Thank you. This will be a great help. Can I ask, what are your theories regarding these attacks and this hoard held in reserve?
I don't know, is the short of it. He says it's most peculiar. Perhaps the starve us out, really.
I see.
Count.
I don't know.
When people
I wish I had. I appreciate you have lots of questions, and I wish I had more answers. But says there's so many unknowns, and Strahd is a curious creature. Let's put it that way.
When people are slain, are they left behind, or do the hordes take them with them?
Well, we would seek to bury them. As day comes and the hordes, we've been able to vanquish the hordes so far. They've not broken through yet. Any corpses we have recovered, we have buried. All right. Do you guys have any more questions, just generally about things that you want to do? Because obviously, this is getting closer towards dusk. Or any questions about anything else that you've kind of been told today, or as in today, both in game terms and in, you know, me things I've told you.
No, I
Or
think
things that you've seen happen, or no?
Mhm.
Okay.
Where shall we take these fire bottles to? To the
Oh
eastern gate?
yes, oh yes, the fire bottles. Um. Uh. She says, "Oh yes, I can fetch them for you now." Um. And says, "If you are ready to go, that is."
Yes, I think it's best we continue our business. We can speak more tomorrow.
Kalyan says, "Well, I'm going to retire to my room. It's been very nice to meet you all, and really, I thank you for your help with what's going on here, and I will have you in my thoughts and prayers." And he nods his head, and he kind of struggles along up the stairs.
Blessings to you and your home.
Irina says, "Yeah," it says, "I can get you this now," and she kind of walks out into a hallway, with the hallway you came in, and there's a closet, and she opens up the closet, and she brings out a wooden crate. The wooden crate contains 12 fire bottles, and each of them are packed between wads of straw. She says, "Hopefully this will put a dent in them." And she's going to hand it to whoever comes to take them off her.
Yep, I'll take them.
All right. So you have the crates, 12 bottles. She says, "It's a shame what's happened with these, that they have to go to such use. Is that um, they're they're quite nice. The wine here is very good, and it's a shame for it to be wasted." And then she smiles and says, "Well, I must make haste myself. I for some more preparations to do at the southern barricade myself."
Of course. Best of luck to you, Irina.
"And you too. I'll see you soon." And she makes her way out the door. Right. I'll be back in a second. But if there's anything else you want to discuss amongst yourselves, or anything else you think that you need to do, let me know.
Okay.
2 seconds.
Are we holding on to these fire bottles, or will we hand them out to the other people garden? 3 each. I suppose we can see when we get there. Set them down. It's like popping, popping the keg. See if anybody wants to come. I forgot to get the name of the guy that was in the bar. I don't think he actually told it to us, but I have him. What was it?
Had a hand.
You heard the name builder up
Oh,
because
right.
it was said out loud.
I was just gonna say I have him written in my notes as Little Ugly Dude.
Little ugly dude. Yeah. He's actually the final boss. He just basically rude you the whole time.
Cutting words.
Right. He's cutting words, but it's 10D 1000. All right. Is there anything else you want to do? I appreciate. Well, you haven't inquired necessarily, but yeah. What do you want to do? Do you want to just go to the Eastern Barricade, or well, there's a lot of things you didn't inquire about, but yeah. What? Oh well, doesn't really matter. Um, well, what do you know?
I'm happy enough to proceed to the east.
Yeah, I think
Hmm.
Well, it's not morning, not or in the morning next morning. All I'll say is that I will allow Prince you to have your 1 level exhaustion withdrawn on the basis of the time
Really?
that's passing, because well, you'll see.
Because I'm gonna need it.
Maybe, yeah. So so the only thing I'll say is, well, it doesn't really matter. We'll do it. It'll come up later. Right, you just head into the Eastern Barricade.
Yep.
Okay, well, it's not. It's going to be a few hours until probably at this point, till dusk. Um, so if you just want to spend that resting, getting ready, that's fine. That can be done. Um, so um, okay, so you guys are you content to go to dusk? Is what my question is, I suppose.
Yeah, I have nothing to do unless anyone else does.
Yeah.
All right. So as dusk approaches, you guys make your way to the eastern entrance to the village. I've actually turned my light out, so give me a minute. I need to turn the light. Reading my book. So, as he approach, I'm gonna move this over here. Well, actually, in a wee second. As you approach, I mean, it's kind of the way you came in, so it's familiar to you. You guys made your way um through the sort of back to the sort of town center. It's a statue, and then over to the east, the road in. And as you approach the barricades that you had entered in earlier in the day, you see like the character of uh where's my things? Where's my notes? You see the character of everybody's favorite boy, ugly
Hey.
man. He's back
Little ugly dude.
with another guy. So you see them sort of standing, chatting. It seems to me that Bildrath is chatting to this other guy. This hulking figure stands at Bildrath's side. He's a younger man, tall and brawny. His shaggy brown hair falls messily across his face, and his crooked teeth glint in the grey light. Though muscles ripple beneath his tunic, there's a lightness and immaturity to his posture that belies his strength and size. He fidgets with the hem of his tunic as your eyes fall upon him. They are both chatting amongst themselves, and as you approach, Bildrath looks at you coldly and says, "Oh, hello." But it appears that this other character is more cheerful, and he gives you like he waves his right hand at you, and he's like, "Oh, hello, pleased to meet you." As you come into as you get closer, Pietro carrying the crate, he says, Bildrath says, "Oh, at least something good's being done here." He says, and he sees as he looks at the fire bottles.
Yes, courtesy of Ismark and his family.
Mm. Well, at least he's good for something.
When you
Yeah, well, I don't see him here. I'm an old man now. And he says, "I'm not expecting too much here. Most things, as you presumably you came in from the east, right?"
indeed.
Yes.
Well, most things come from the north or south or the west. So expect a quiet night. And he says, "Isn't that right, Parry Wimple?" And Parry Wimple sort of nods his head, like kind of shaking like a dog, like tongue out.
Odor.
Udor, yeah. This guy, Parry Wimple, strikes you as being quite simple. And I appreciate that's not a nice thing to say, but that's the way he kind of is.
I'm going to give him a smile and a nod. Say, it's a pleasure to meet you, Periwimple. I am Pietro.
And he like takes your hand, and he as he goes to he puts out his hand to shake it, or to shake your hand. Do you do the same?
Yeah, well, I'll put the crate down, shake his hand.
Yeah, I mean, you're at the baghead now, so there's no. Yeah, you can.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can
yeah.
put it down, yeah, yeah. So like,
shake it.
yeah. So he takes it and he gives you like a really like enthusiastic shake of your whole arm. All right, I'm gonna move you over. But you're actually not on the map, so that would help. So you won't see yourselves for a wee minute. Where is it? Sorry, he's off the map. So you guys find yourselves in here. Where do you want to have left the crate? I'll just annotate it on.
I'll say up. My right click is not working, but there.
Just hold left click. It should go.
Oh yeah, there.
Okay. I'm just looking for a wee icon to give you. We're sorry.
Oh, there.
Well, I was going to put one on instead of just crudely drawing.
That
I don't want to wind you up. Right there. Okay. So your 12 are in there. All right. So this is Parrywimple, Bill Draft, and he's kind of up here as well. Is there any way you want to kind of position yourselves? Obviously, there's the barricades. You can also climb up. You see that there are. Let me think. I'm pretty sure that there's 10-foot ladders nailed to one of the houses. I'll let you choose which house it is. In fact, it can just be both if you want. So you can get up to the roof if you just want to position yourselves.
Do we have anyone of range?
I prefer.
If I
Yeah, I would also. Perhaps
I'm a
the acro
melee
can
fighter.
cover us.
If I go up here, how far down is it to the terrain below?
So the barricades are 30 foot long, which I think is probably what it is there, and they're 6 foot tall.
So I should be able to
30
sort
feet,
of
6 feet. Yeah.
I should reasonably be able to swing down and hit a human-sized or medium-sized, I guess, creature that's at that barricade.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, might depend. I'm trying to think about it. You can swing down at them. Yeah.
Okay, I'll position myself up here then.
Yeah.
Um,
You can peer over the edge and attack approaching enemies. And while standing behind the barricade, you have either full or 3/4 cover while standing on the platform. I would say full will be behind the actual bits which are clearly full. So you can probably assume that these are these bits. The other bit, which is more open, is probably 3/4 cover. Just to remind myself and everybody else, on cover. Bless you. Yeah, so 3/4 is +5 the AC. And total would be basically when you're total cover, you can't be directly targeted. Now, the only thing I'll say about that at this point, so everyone's on the same page, is that if you have a thing where it's like raised up above you, it's going to be harder to hit. So just kind of depends, really, if you know what I mean. So what I'm trying to say is, if somebody's standing here and you're standing here, you're probably not going to be able to hit them.
Right.
Because it's 6 feet down from the top, from the ground of the platform. You have another
Right.
barrier on top of that. So
Okay.
so it's real. So it's only in these areas here. You know, these squares here, these 4.
Right. I'll position myself here for now then.
These are designed more for like ranged.
Yeah. Okay.
So in fact, Beldrath will go in there. Probably Whipple, just to get out of your way. Okay.
Yep.
Did we regain spell slots when
Yep.
leveling up?
Yep, we did.
Okay, so I can just do a long rest.
Yep, do a long rest, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. That's how you level up. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Okie dokie. So, you guys stand here just as you say, as dusk is approaching, you've arrived here. As the last shades of light fade from the sky, an eerie silence descends upon the village. A chill wind whispers through the streets, carrying with it the faint scent. Sorry. Carrying with it the faint scent of decay as the leaves of the woods rustle in the distance. A blood curdling howl pierces the night, followed by a second, and then a third. The cacophony of inhuman shrieks and moans grows louder, echoing across the basin from all directions as the distant forest seems to come alive. Bildrath, as you guys all look out, there's fog ahead, and you cannot see any further. Now, before I what is your distance? Your dark. You have 300 feet. I put down. Yeah, so you can see out Faker because you have the longest dark vision. It is beyond. Everybody else can't necessarily see this, but you are the only one who can really see that beyond the vision of the torches is just fog, a thick fog, which is you cannot see anything. It is completely obscured. And as these noises are happening, you look over at between yourselves, Parrywimple and Bildrath, and you see Bildrath's face tighten and looks can become grim. He grips his crossbow tightly. It begins. He mutters, and the din fades once more into the cold night. And Parrywimple on the other side, he nods, clutching the spear close to his chest. All right. So let's roll initiative.
I'm gonna roll a -2.
Yeah.
-1.
Right. I need to get my light here again. So
Woo!
Nice. All double digits. Yeah, I think Fiacre was -1 in the turn order.
Perfect. I think I had stopped watching before that. But that's beautiful. That's kind of what I was expecting now. Not sure if you have Fairy Fire, Kurt, but I do too. So I was thinking of casting it. Okay.
or word kill.
Very like
So is anyone else getting flashbacks to the time we played Left 4 Dead 2?
yeah, Chargers.
Oh, here. I'm forgetting about these boys. Sorry, I'm just. Oh, that's why, because they're on the token ladder. Keurig and Beldrath, they can make it if they try. Right. So
Fighting close.
Yeah. I'm not really designed for range. I could probably swap out a cantrip to have some range, but I do have spiritual weapon now. So there's my range. My AC is like 18. With a shield, I think.
okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the very end of the round because that's when they go. Because otherwise, you guys are just standing here looking at nothing. So, right. Let me just get on my bits and bobs here. Well, actually, I won't go to the end of the round. You guys all are going to go first. What do you want to do? That's only fair because you're obviously preparing for what's about to happen. So, what do you want to do? As in, basically, you have like because they're at the very end. If you want to prepare,
Ooh.
Undead. All undead.
okay, cool, nice.
Thank you, Tyrek.
There you go. There's an icon for
But I am evil. Ah!
him. Sorry, you said protection from good and evil, but the spell's called protection from evil and good. So,
Please do that.
yeah, goofed.
Usa.
Who's got the lowest AC?
Bildroth.
Mine's 16.
Mine's is 18.
You want a
Bildroth's
+2,
AC.
Kurt?
Bildroth's AC is the lowest.
Yeah, but he's cannon fodder, no?
Okay.
So I can give him a +2 AC.
Tell me how you really feel about old Bildroth.
I don't.
Okay. Shall I bless some people? Yeah.
I put that little fist there to represent the protection from evil and good.
I mean, I also have protection from evil and good.
Bless is not a bad idea.
Just because if we can get a heads up on them, I would, right. So shall we say whoever's got the highest AC doesn't get it? Okay. So it's for attacks and saves, so it's not even AC. Who's going to be dealing out the most damage?
I'll be back in a second while you're all thinking about this.
I think it.
Okay. Right. Well, I'll bless. Fair enough. So D4 for attack rolls or saves.
I gotta look up how AC is calculated. Is it just flat if you have chainmail? Is that what it is? Chainmail must just be flat 16
Think so.
rather than like adding decks. Okay, that explains it. That makes sense because I purposefully checked my my dump stat to make sure it worked. Okay. What is my strength? 13.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's good to know. Yeah, but yeah. Deadly campaign and all. Yeah, I don't know if I want to precast anything, just in case, for example, Moonbeam is useful, because that would just that's concentration. Or see invisibility is also. Oh, that's not concentration. That's interesting. So if they start going invisible, I can cast that, but that's not concentration. Wow. Okay. And then I have I have my channel divinity that does the temp HP or the effect erase. So I bet it did. That's why it's like, oh hey, this is OP, and I'm like, oh, did I spill peanut butter multi? Yeah. Okay.
So we've got Bless. Who's Bless on? Just the whole the rest. And that's concentration. A protection from good and evil is also concentration. All right. I'm retconning. Yeah. Touche, you got me. Okay. So Bildrath, what's he gonna do? He's gonna probably hold every round. He's just basically gonna hold an attack. What's his thing? Where's he at? On the wrong thing. That's right. He'll hold a crossbow attack every turn. All right, and then Parrywimple is going to. Let's see what he's going to do. Oh, sorry. Sorry, it's Parrywimple. He's going to hold a crossbow attack. Bildrath is going to wait with his club. He's not going to do anything else. Yeah. So, Fiacre, sorry, what are you doing?
That's my action. I'm sharing. So as an action, you can magically share the dark vision with willing creatures you can see within 10 feet of you, up to a number of creatures equal to your wisdom modifier. So that appears to be the whole party.
Yeah, okay. As I say, the fog is still obscured.
Yeah.
So
Um,
there's no visibility in the fog at all, even if you have dark vision.
right. It just gives. So if they don't have dark vision, then the dim is now clear,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So
So
you
let
can
me.
see in dim as if it were bright,
Uh,
and
okay.
darkness as if it were dim. So
That should maybe. I'll see if I can fix all this. You don't have torches. For the next hour, so let me just fix everybody here. Yeah, some of you guys are still carrying torches, you see, from previously. So I'm giving you basically up to 300 feet, which is longer than the map, okay? So you should all be able to see the entire map now in full light. But these fog areas are obscured, as in, it doesn't matter if you can see in the dark or not. You can't see through fog. Right. Now, the only thing I'll say is that we are in turn. Okay, never mind. Actually, I was going to say we're in turn order. You could have cast that beforehand, but there's an argument that anybody could have cast anything beforehand. But the issue is some of your thing is concentration in rounds, so you would need to cast it now, if you know what I mean. Obviously, you're in preparation for what's going to come. So you could have cast Eyes of the Night because it lasts for an hour before we even did this round. If you know what I mean.
That's my.
That's
That's
what you
my.
said.
Yeah, I understand, but that's the only one I want to do. So
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
that'll be my round action.
All right. Then Pietro, what are you doing?
I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith. Who has the lowest AC besides
Bildrath.
Bildrath? Besides the little ugly dude.
So mine's 16.
14. Yours is 16, Prince.
Yeah.
And Fiekra, what did you say yours was? I'm assuming
18?
it is.
Oh, I have everybody's. Oh, that's a different thing.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll cast
you said
Shield
18.
Shield of Faith on Tierig then, which is a bonus +2 to AC.
The square hole. This is the way it's meant to be. Everybody fucking like triple buffing themselves. The combat starts.
Zombie and
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, well, it could be. Well, it's your choice. Right. I think that's everybody because Prince, you've already done the bless, so that's everybody done. All right. So you guys are standing with your enhanced vision, apart from obviously Parry-Wimple and Bildrath, and you're looking out into the distance. In fact, actually, just because I said about that, it should be Parry-Wimple in. Well, Parry-Wimple can just stay there. Bildrath can go in this one. So you guys, you're looking out into the fog. Out of the fog comes a single rat. Nah, just kidding. There's no rat.
man.
Rat. I just wanted to have a rat in the game. So out of the so you guys start to hear like a shuffling sound, coming out through the fog. Out of the fog at the end of the turn order. Okay. Five figures shamble towards the barricade, the whites of their eyes glinting in the torchlight. Their low guttural moans echo through the night, their rotting arms outstretched towards you. So it's their turn. Now,
Shooter!
so none of you guys held, apart from Periwimple. So Periwimple is going to make a crossbow attack towards one of them. This is a 17, which hits for 6. So a bolt flies out of Periwimple's crossbow and hits this one here for 6 piercing. Let me just open their sheets. Yep. So it has a bolt sticking out of it. And everybody else's actions are buffs, etc. So they're going to use their actions to fully double move. So they're going to rapidly shuffle up to the barricades. That is their turns. So we're now at the top of the turn order again. Target is your turn. I mean, you're gonna have to use movement to do all this stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, you can move through them. Yeah,
Yeah.
as long as you don't end your turn in the squares.
Yep. I will shuffle past. Second.
Are you lifting more than one bottle? Because you could probably lift multiple and drop them on the ground in front of you.
I'll lift.
Okay, you can't. Yeah, you can only do that. Yeah. So you're going to make a improvised weapon. So let me just check these and further. Wait a minute, I have notes on this. So it has a range of 20 feet, shatters an impact. You make a ranged attack against the creature and treat it as an improvised weapon. On a hit, it takes 1d4 fire damage at the start of each of its turns. Mm-hmm. And the creature can end this damage by using its action to make a DC 10 dexterity check to extinguish the flames. But they're zombies, so they're probably not going to do it. Yep, that's it. And which one are you throwing it at? Sorry. Okay. The only thing I'll say is, if you want to be in range to melee attack these guys, you need to be in the square. Just okay. I know. I'm just saying for everybody, just going forward because everybody's set back. Okay. 9. As you rush up and you lift it out of the box and you go to throw it, you just throw it, just clips the side of the barricade and flips over and lands on the ground. Yeah.
All right.
Nice. All right. It's Bildrath's turn. Bildrath is going to. What's he going to do? Let me just see. Bildrath's going to do something similar. I would say Bildrath's probably already lifted. So there was 12 alchemist fires. There was 10 from you taking them. I would say he's probably taken 2. So there's 8. He's going to throw one as well. So he's going to throw one into this zombie here. So he is. It's just literally just a straight D20. I'll roll in public. Well, actually, you know what? I'll roll it. It's also a 9. So it also comes and smashes on the ground over here as he misses. All right. So it's Faker's turn.
Okay. Gonna step forward and cast Word of Radiance.
All right.
So they need to make a DC 12 con save.
Is this ranged or?
This is no, it's 5 feet. It is 1, 2, 3. Well, so I guess are they within 5 feet? Because you said we could reach, right?
Yeah, I would say you can reach them.
Okay, because it's basically
Well, like
within.
these ones, just about. I would say
It's a 5-foot range.
Okay.
So you can judge that. If I can't reach those 2, then I'm not doing this.
Wait, what is the nature of Word of Radiance? What sort of attack is it? I need to read it.
Let me paste it. I guess there. Just the range is 5 feet.
Oh no, that's fine. That's not even arguably. Well, I mean, it's not a weapon attack, so yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everyone within 5 feet. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah. So
they need to make a
yeah.
DC 12 constant con save. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm afraid they all save. 18,
Okay.
12, and 15.
Okay.
Oh,
Bonus action. Spiritual weapon. It's going to appear behind this one.
okay, and I'll see how I want to.
And it rolled a 1, so beautiful.
Double 1.
Absolutely beautiful.
Double 1. Right, let's see. I need to give a wee spiritual weapon, so. Where'd that go? It just went invisible.
We're only warming up.
This is from the Final Fantasy. That's from the Final Fantasy wiki. So, where did you want the sword here?
Yeah, here.
All right. Well, I mean, if it gets the attack now when you conjure it.
Oh yeah, it does, and it rolled a 1. So.
Oh yeah, I mean it misses. It flies in the orbit. Yeah, it misses.
It does that whole like obnoxious sword familiar like know it, sword familiar from Soten? No.
It goes
Short
fun.
card,
I'm here, your sword companion.
Listen.
Listen.
No, it's like, hey, it looks like you're having trouble with these ghouls or zombies.
It's a
What do
talking
you want me
sword.
to do?
Gee,
It's a,
Faker.
it's a
It's
okay. That's not
stabby.
canon. Your character is an obnoxious. Your special weapon's an obnoxious talking sword.
It's stabby.
Stabby.
Happy?
Yeah.
Or
If
the other equivalents. I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me.
yeah,
Oh,
if you give me control of that would make this easier probably.
Yeah, I can do it. Let's see.
Yeah, but yeah, that's action bonus action. I'm not going to move because presumably we're in range of
You are in range. Yeah.
reactions, so I'm not going to bother moving. That's my turn.
Alrighty. It's Party Whipple's turn. Party Whipple is going to, because he's up in height, even though within range, melee range, you have disadvantage. He doesn't have it because he's raised up, and because he's blocked off from this guy. So he's going to make a crossbow attack. Onto this guy here. Which does hit for 2. Alrighty, that's his turn. Pietro, it's your turn.
So I'm going to move. I have to go in front of Tirig briefly, and then I'm going to use my breath weapon, or attempt to. I'll paste it in here
Yep.
in a moment. Where is it? So a 15-foot cone from here, aiming sort of there to see if I can get all 3 of them.
Resume in. Keep pulling up. Yep, you can hit all 3 of them.
Okay. And so that is...
Just about clip that one in front of you.
Let me see. When you use your breath weapon, each creature must make a dexterity saving throw. DC for the saving throw equals 8 plus your con modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
All right. So,
That is
dexterity saving throws for all of them.
8 plus 2 is 10. 12.
Okay. These two. This one succeeds. He's 17. These other 2 fail.
Okay. So 2d6 damage on a field save and half as much on a successful one.
Doesn't say what type.
roll,
What type of
2d6.
fire damage?
Fire.
All right.
That's roll 2. For 2 damage.
Wow. Get fucked. That's my response to that. Is there half damage taken? Oh, half
half
was a success. Oh,
yeah.
I would take this 1 hit point off this one. I will gladly do that.
We're so confident, and then it's like, oh, okay. Yeah.
I won.
It's
I'm
fine.
hitting them. I'm hitting the guy. Oh, no.
It's
I'm not.
working.
Yeah. So,
And then I'll take the attack of opportunity. I'll shift out of Tirig's way and just come to here. So I think this one up here. Look at me. A wee attack.
it's a miss.
Sweet, and that's my turn.
All right, Prince, it's your turn.
Finally. Time to unveil the hurt. Can I go here
Yeah.
and not? And I can stab this guy, right?
Sorry, I moved you into the box. Let me see. Oh, can you go there? Yeah, you can. Yeah, I would say you can stand and like basically lean on it. Yep.
Yeah, and not like.
Yeah.
Tip over and whatever. Right. Okay. So I great sword his face. 19.
The one in front of you.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a hit.
Ooh. Okay. I feel like I want to keep my spell charges in case, so I might hold off the divine smite for now. So yeah, just damage. Ah. Okay.
Nice. Yeah. Slam down, take a chunk out of him. He's still going though. Oh, I'm using that's right. It is bloodied.
Ooh. Stay back, foul beast.
Okay. Anything else?
I can't lay on hands the zombie, can I? It's an action anyway, so.
I don't know why you'd want to.
Well, if it's undead, I presume it takes damage to healing.
No.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, right. Let me just make a wee note here. That's something.
Sorry, whose turn is it?
It's my turn. I'm just working out something quickly.
Can I just check for my benefit? With Bless and doing the attack roll, it's not the damage roll, but the attack. It says the attack rolls and saving throws. Is the attack roll the whether you hit?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure.
Okay. It's their turn. Let me just see actually. Right. It's the zombies' turn. The zombies are going to. You guys watch as the zombies begin to slam against the barricade as if trying to destroy it. So. Oh, actually, one wee bit of need. So 5 attacks. Okay, so the zombie starts slamming against the barricades and trying to damage it. These zombies here, oh, sorry, ignore that one. The zombies here, second and third one, and the bottom one, are the ones who seem to be doing the most damage to it, especially the one at the bottom. So where the second, third, and fifth one have attacked, the barricade is starting to collapse. As in, it's not fully collapsing, but it's being damaged, okay? And in this case of the bottom part, it looks like it's probably on its way to being destroyed. That's their turn. We've probably enough time for one more round. Well, if quick, before that we end. So Tarek, it's your turn. Yep, that's a hit. Yep. Okay. I made a note of it. All right. Okay. Alrighty. It's Beldraw's turn. Beldraw shouts out, "Come on, they're destroying this thing!" And he's going to throw another bottle. And it's a natural one. I could be a real asshole here. I'd say he drops it down here. No. He drops it on here. He drops it on this part of the barricade, my boys.
I thought drop it.
Yeah, he drops it on the barricade. And I'd say the barricade takes. Do what we'll do it. We'll do it public. The barricade is on fire, and the damage is worsening. Right, that's his turn. Faker, it's your turn. Oh, you're on mute.
I'm gonna Warhammer the guy in front of me.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't feel like really I'm happy to apply fields on anything I roll, but for you guys, I don't really like doing like also, I'm not rolling the chart, so yeah, you miss.
Do I get the bless on the spiritual weapon?
Great question. I don't know.
I think I do. Because it's a melee. It's a spell melee attack. Melee spell attack.
Yep.
Okay. So then it's a 13 to hit.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Nice. For 6 force damage.
Is this one?
Yeah.
All right, nice. Sword comes and slashes into the back of it.
Yeah. Slice. No.
I'm a blasted sword. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my turn. I'm rolling a lot of ones.
All right. Next up is Parrywimple. Parrywimple is going to he's going to shoot the one in front of you, Fiacra. Excuse me. Thanks. Yep. He hits it. Another bolt lands in it for 6 piercing damage. So this one's bloodied as well. The other ones are pretty good nick.
What about that guy I took one off? How's he doing?
He's living his best life. On life, yeah.
He's very badly burned.
That is not your turn, Pedro.
I'm just going to. I'll not do anything fancy. I'm just going to regular attack the bottom one.
All right.
Please, you'll matter. Guide my hand. Fuck's sake. I don't think any kind of blessings are going to save me.
Yeah, yeah. The natural ones that just aren't. Bless can't save you now. Strahd's like in the background going, ha ha ha. He's just standing and leaning next to one of those trees eating an apple, just watching this. Like, look at these fucking amateurs here.
7 nat ones.
Yes, this. Well, thank God this is the end of 3 minutes because I fucking cursed this one. Curse of Strahd, literally. Yeah, it's a miss. Right, Prince, it's your turn. Please get your natural one, and then we can prepare the end after I do the Zombo's turn.
Okay.
Okay.
Up.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That's a hit. That's a hit.
Oh, I don't even need.
Yes.
Okay. Right. 12. Yes.
One's doing.
Come on, now.
Right, so you're hitting this one?
Yeah, I kill him because he's bloodied, and I did like twice the damage.
Let's see. Do you kill him? Okay. You swing your greatsword into it. It's a magnificent hit. And as you slam down into it, it drops to the ground and it appears to be dead. And it lies there momentarily before standing up again.
I bonus action divine smite.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Chumbawamba starts playing.
Like divine smite's on an attack.
I don't know how it works.
I'll post it. Oh, maybe I can't. Hang on. Yep, there.
Okay, let me just ask quickly. When is Divine Smite declared?
Yeah.
But before the damage dice are rolled. Would mean you cannot wait to see if normal damage kills the target before deciding to smite it. That isn't really the case. Look, I'm just going to tell you it's 1 hit point, so there's no point.
Oh, I was thinking it has to be radiant damage or something.
It's just kind of metagamey, but I'll just tell you that zombies have a ability which, when they're damaged and we kill them, doesn't necessarily drop them. That's all I'll say at this point.
Okay.
Just because you're going to waste the slot and just to be helpful.
Right. Well, in that case, as
They're
the zombie
half-orc zombies.
Yeah. As the zombie falls, I proclaim loudly, I have the power. And then I
Of course you do. Fuck's sake.
I see it rise up in a withered state, and then I retract my statement and post claim Skeletor.
It's only right. Right. I'm going to do the return quickly, then we can end this. So,
Yep.
for today. Right. Fire damage. Boy in the bottom. I already rolled it. You got 3. Now, these other guys, they're just going to do the exact same thing. They're going to try and knock the barricades. So, just make me notice something. Okay, so oh dear. Everyone but one attacks the barricade. So the one which we had to go. Okay. And the one that Prince was attacking does like a final victory slam into the barricade. It takes damage. The second one is doing more damage. It seems to be getting quite destroyed. The one which is below the third one has almost destroyed the barricade. The oh, sorry, I marked these wrong. Wait a minute. That's not right. Sorry, apologies. The one in front of Prince does the victory one. It's getting damaged. The one below, let me just make sure I'm making note of this so I do this right. The one below, the one which Faker standing at is on its way to being destroyed. The one below that is the one which is opposite you, Turg. The zombie lets out slams quite hard into it, and it's parts of the barricade seem to fail quite substantially. It's still up, but it's quite damaged. Well, it's really damaged. The one below that is the one where Pietro's standing is undamaged so far. But the one where Bildrath is standing fails. So this is now destroyed. And zombies have access in So I'm going to make a wee note of that. If I can find a way to do that. I was just going to put a wee square here like this. Well, that wasn't actually what I wanted to do, but all right. Well, just note that's clearly destroyed. So zombies now have access up or in, I suppose. We'll just say they can crawl up from there in. So that's an entrance point now into through the barricade. And it's not difficult terrain or anything like that. Okay. And then we're at the top of the turn order. And that's where we should probably leave it for today.
A good place for it to be continued.
Yeah. One does not simply walk into Barovia.